Welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I am great. Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Risings.
Absolutely. What a day, what a day to be alive, and very thankful to be woken up this morning, to be
Yes,
the wake up
ma'am.
list, you know.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here. My name is DJ Kitty. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Morningstar. We are Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Want to say good morning to everyone out there listening. I hope you're having a safe drive in to work, or getting breakfast, or having a nice cup of coffee and enjoying this day. Although it may be raining and it may be a little gloomy, it's another day that we are blessed to see. So come
Absolutely.
on in, grab you something nice to drink, and eat your breakfast, and let us entertain you for a little while. That's what we like to do. We like to bring everyone in and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Good morning, sis.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody in the radio world. I hope you guys are ready to go. It is hump day. Is it
Yes,
hump day?
it
It's
is.
hump day. Yeah, we made it.
Yes, we did. We made it. It's hump day, and we're halfway through the week, and exciting plans for the weekend. Hopefully, this rain will clear out, but we will see. You know, uh, April showers bring May flowers, but it's only March, and it's raining. It's a good rain, but
It is.
evidently we need it, and I don't complain as long as the roof stays up and the roads don't flood. We'll be okay.
That part, right?
Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so before we get started, let's do our affirmations, and let's go ahead and get started with something good from our affirmation queen. Are you ready, sis?
Yes, ma'am. I am ready for the affirmations. Let's get it going. Let's get it started. It's going to be beneficial to what we got going on tonight. Um, I love to tie it in. So this one is called I Give Myself Permission. So I give myself permission to create boundaries with family. Creating boundaries is like one of the most important beneficial things that you can do for your mental health, especially when it comes to dealing with family. It can be a hard thing to do for Black people, considering that many of our family, dynamics involve, what therapists call um, enmeshments. So in that case, when it comes to family, it means parents leaning on children. Sometimes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay, that's okay. It means parents leaning on children for emotional support and hindering the kids' independence. It can be like parents complaining about other ones in the family. Y'all know what that is. The gossip, calling you always with the drama. It can often burden you and make you feel down. It can bring, that energy over to you. So it's important to be able to set boundaries, even if it's your parents, siblings, or whatnot. Um, and if you often feel responsible for other people's emotions, then you definitely need to go ahead and create those boundaries. That is a sure enough sign, guys. Um, it's just part of the process. So just give yourself permission and be okay with it to create those boundaries. That's
Absolutely.
our affirmation for today.
Creating boundaries is so needed nowadays
Yes,
because, just because you're going through it doesn't mean that everybody else needs to go through it.
absolutely.
Um, I find, I don't know about others, but I find that I run into people who may trauma dump, and
Hmm.
that's a boundary that I have put up. I don't mind speaking with anyone. However, the trauma dumping, I don't have the wherewithal because I have my own share of,
Yeah.
things that I deal with. So creating boundaries is past important. But we'll get into it. We will get into it a little bit later on when we bring up Mrs. Jack to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's get into the weather. So the weather, the high today will be 57 degrees and the low will be 44. Still raining. Hopefully it'll clear out soon, but we don't know. The weather it's unpredictable. That's why it's the weather. Um, like I always say, stay safe. Turn around, don't drown. If you see high water, please turn around. Don't even risk it. Living in Texas, me, myself personally, I've been in several floods and I've had to walk through flood water, which was horrible. I think that how I made it through, I do not know. But when your back is up against the wall and you have to do certain things, you just have to do certain things. Stay safe. That's what I'm going to tell everyone. Hopefully, this weather will clear out soon. I know there were some tornado watches here in Texas, and they were moving across the mid south over into the Carolinas. So you guys be careful. I also heard about some fires in the Carolinas, which is shocking. You normally hear about fires on the West Coast, but fires in the Carolinas. Yep, I heard about that. Was watching the weather day before yesterday, and I was shocked to even hear that. But nowadays, these are the times. These are the times that we live in. I want to say hello to all of those out in YouTube land that are listening. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you joining and commenting in the chat. Okay, because it's open to all. Those that are listening, please join us on Our Plugs LLC and listen as well. You can listen. We show in the evenings, we show in the mornings, or you can just tap in and listen at any time. Our Plugs LLC, please subscribe and give us a listen and share with your family and friends. So that was the weather. Let's go ahead and get into current events. So
Oh,
yeah,
so let's get into it. So
let's
what's the first topic of current events?
let's go with tariffs. Let's
Okay.
go with tariffs
Okay.
because that's impacting all of us because
Everyone. Hmm.
the prices are going up. Not going to go up or may go up. The prices are going up.
Absolutely.
And because we have decided this administration has decided to put tariffs on Mexico and Canada in retaliation, they said that they will put tariffs on us right back. And it's only fair. If someone were putting tariffs on the United States, we would do the same back.
Right.
But what's the point? Why are we doing this? We've lived all these years without this. Why all of a sudden are we doing this to our closest allies? I don't know. I don't know. I can't make sense
Well,
of what's
I
going
was I would think of it like this. It's not, we know who the person that is uh in control of this at this moment. And his motives are a form of revenge on the American people. From what I see. And this is
on.
my opinion from what I see it as a revengeful task. I think that everything that's being done is uh refuge. What was the words he used? I'm your refuge. I'm,
He's
the
just
re-
being
the
he's being
revenge tool.
vengeful. He's being vengeful. He's being
Vengeful. Hmm.
he's and why are you attacking um Mexico and Canada. Mexico and Canada didn't do anything to him.
Right.
But for whatever reason, he feels that Mexico, Canada, and China. But I noticed that he's not going as hard on China because he gets his products from China. That's
Well,
why he's not
what did
going
they
at
get? 10% or
10%.
20%?
I don't know if he raised it. Last I heard it was 10%, but
I
I know
think it
it's
went up a little more. I want to
they
say it
have
went up a little more. And they not playing either. They pushing back as well. Um, I'm a little confused on some of the stuff because with me owning the business, I'm going to be affected in the way of the
we
tariffs
all are.
and things like that. So I'm kind of waiting on message from my vendor. Like she's good communicator as to how we gonna do this and get through these things. Because I mean, bottom line is it affects the people. It affects the common consumer people, us, as the everyday American citizens that go to work, pay our bills daily, come home, take care of home, take care. I mean, just regular every biweekly paychecks. Most of us,
Yes.
we don't we're not looking for handouts or anything like that. So we're just in a really bad situation where we are being highly affected by this.
We're being held hostage at this point. It's a hostile hostage situation. We did not elect those who voted for him. We hear it all up and down TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. They didn't vote for this. They voted because he said he would lower eggs and gas prices. They voted because they have a disdain for people of color. They voted because he promised that he was going to make America great again. They voted because he said that it was going to be America first. How is this America first? He picked up that Sharpie and he has destroyed this country in less than it took him less than 60 days. It actually took him less than 30 days.
We 45 days in, I think. That's the last I think I heard. 45 days. Something, yeah. Something
Not
to that
45,
aspect.
40, 45, 50.
Same thing. Not long enough. We just started.
We just got started and
January was the longest month ever.
it was. And you're right. I see you out in the comments. When was America great? Never. America was never great, especially for African American people and people of color. It's never been great. I assumed that they assumed that it was great when we were segregated, and to a point, maybe you know, it was. We had our own, and they had their own, but they couldn't help but come over and burn our stuff down.
Well, let's even go further back. We were minding our ancestors
We're
were minding their business in Africa. Plus, on top of our indigenous ancestors, Afro-indigenous ancestors that were already on this land, raising cattle, being productive, raising
minding their
growing
business.
vegetables, being minding their business.
That's when America was great. Before America was great before it was
The
colonized.
colonizers came,
That's when America
unfortunately.
was great. I hope that answered your question, Orange Plum 31. America was great before it was colonized.
That's right. I would think so. I would think it was wonderful then.
And before people of color were victimized and thrown into savagery and insanity. That's
That's
when America
right,
was
Orange
great. But
Plum.
that's like I said, that's when he people voted because those were their reasoning. But now we hear all of these complaints and all of these, I didn't vote for this, and all the town halls and all this, that, and the third. Well, what did you think was going to happen when you put a criminal in the office?
They thought it was just gonna be us.
They did. They thought it was just going to be us. And
Check.
now that it's directly affecting them, now it's oh no, no, we don't want this, and now he needs to be stopped, and I didn't vote for Elon Musk, and well, what did you expect? What did you expect to happen from person who has never displayed kindness ever. He
Yeah.
has never displayed an ounce of kindness, an ounce of compassion, an ounce of empathy with no one. It's always been about the money. And then we hear people say, "Oh, well, he's a businessman." I know plenty, many businessmen that don't file bankruptcy. Many. Being a great businessman means that you don't file bankruptcy. It means that you pay your bills and you pay your employees and you're honest.
Mm-hmm.
You don't cheat the system.
Yeah.
Cheaters never win. So although he may be there and he may be causing this destruction to this country, and he's aligning with Russia just as plain as day, and anyone with an ounce of common sense can see it. He's aligning with Russia. His values, his goals are the same as Russia's. Russia said that they would destroy America and not have to put a single boot on the ground. And DJT is making it possible. But I hope, and my prayer is, someone will stand up and say enough is enough.
Somebody gotta have a backbone at some point. Because it's like, how do you let it go on
How are we
so
going to
long?
survive 4 years of this?
How do you continue to let this go on? And let's be clear, guys. We know it's not just DJT.
We do.
We know that there is a whole team of hateful people behind him, probably most likely running the show. He's not as smart. He's not that smart. He's not that bright. So we know definitely there is somebody that is definitely in charge. And yeah, we know what's going on. We know that he's not the one just running the show. But we must this is why we have this is why we have this show.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we have to connect to the community. We have to find sovereignty within our community and peace somewhere, because today is mental health day, because it's we are midweek, and we must find a way to balance our emotions and our
Hmm.
stress, and come up with something that's refreshing. Being
We have,
around people. Hmm.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, being around like-minded people, you know, conducting our business with each other, paying into each other. If you have a business, plugging it into our plugs. That way people can reach out to you and do business directly with you and connect with you that way. If we have any events happening, it's gonna be on our plugs where we can come together as a community.
Hmm.
Everybody get together, no matter what city or state you're in, and we can
Absolutely.
connect. This is such an important platform, guys, because of what's going on Pennsylvania Avenue. We can't be bothered with that. That's hateful rhetoric
Yeah.
with a lot of lies. Go ahead, Kitty.
With a lot of lies, and it's enough to drive the common man crazy. But I need people to understand that this isn't it. This isn't the final. This isn't. Don't give up. Don't give up. We've got to tonight. I cannot wait to bring our sister up to talk about protecting our peace, because now sometimes you do have to turn off social media and put your phone down and turn off the TV and not listen to it, because it will, you know, so much doom and gloom can drive you crazy. So that's why I choose to make myself aware of what's happening, but to find something better to focus on. And what better to focus on than ourselves and making sure that the community is connected? I can't sit back. There's nothing that I can do to make DJT and the rest of the Heritage Foundation. I can't make these people not be evil. I can't make them stop. They're going to continue doing what they do because for whatever reason, they're getting paid, they get a kick out of it, they're living through, I don't know. But what I can do is make sure that, hey, if there's a food drive, I can contribute. I can, whether it's food, whether it's money, whether it's time, I can help out. I can support by making people aware and using my talents and my gifts to bring people together and put them inside a directory and help people grow their businesses. You know, when you start a business, it's always hard. You know, you have a great product, you know, put all the work in, and then you've got it. And how do you get people through the door? How do you get people to buy your product? Well, marketing is expensive. That's why we have a directory, so we can market together collectively instead of trying to go through all of the, you know, ups and downs and highs and lows of trying to navigate through marketing by yourself. You know, it's a group of us inside of Our Plugs. And I know for a fact that when people go into Our Plugs, they are checking out, because I see the analytics. They're not just checking out one business, they're checking out the businesses. So if you have a business, if you have an association or an organization, getting connected so that your community is well taken care of is key, especially now, especially when they want to keep us disconnected. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to welcome our sister who's going to talk about protecting our peace, protecting our mindsets. We'll be right back.
Timeless elegance. Redefine class. Welcome to Morningstar Boutique by Tam, where fashion at its finest, fashion that brings out your inner cuteness, and styles that make you go, oh girl, where you get that from? Check me out at www.morningstarboutique.com or at ourplugsllc.com. Can't wait to see you.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciate it. God bless.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational, strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC takes custom to a whole new level. You are guaranteed to find a gift for that special someone, or even a customized gift for yourself. So head on over to my Etsy shop, Sparkle Kicks LLC, and start your personalized order today. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Have a great day.
Timeless elegance.
And we are back. So you want to go ahead and bring up Mrs. Jack? You're on mute, Mrs. Morningstar.
Yes, ma'am. Got you on stage. Hi, Mrs. Jack.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey, Mrs. Jack, how are you?
I'm good. I want y'all to see this.
Yes, I seen that. That is beautiful.
That's why they mad. That's why they mad, because we can actually look like this, you know?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, we know.
Beautiful.
We know. Beautiful. Beautiful Black queens.
How is everybody?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm tired, but that's okay.
I,
I'm good.
I'm quite
We
sure.
was on the road.
Yeah, you were on the road.
Yeah, you was
The
traveling.
first time going to Mardi Gras.
Yes.
It was
When I
fun.
tell you, it was so. It was a new experience. So I've always wanted to go. My husband's from New Orleans, so I always wanted to, I want to go to a Mardi Gras parade. I want to go. You're gonna take me? You're gonna take me? He was like, yeah. And this time we went, and the actual Fat Tuesday is actually tomorrow. Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we had we didn't get to stay for that. We left a couple days early.
Yeah.
But that's when they say they do it big, but they do like parades all the way up until Fat Tuesday. So it was fun. It was really fun and tiring.
It looked fun. I
It
seen the
looked-
pictures.
Yeah, I said y'all some pictures. Everybody, when I
Yeah.
tell you I was dressed down compared to what everybody else had on, like it is like a moment of freedom. Go wear whatever you want to wear. And when I say whatever you want, costumes.
I seen a few people today at work dressed up. It's
all the colors.
a lot of people from Louisiana that migrated to Houston when Katrina hit. So
Right.
we have a lot of Louisiana employees. So I saw them and they purple and green and they festivities. I was like, okay, I see y'all.
Yeah, they are proud. That's a proud city. New Orleans is a proud place. No matter what all the stuff they went through, they are still like proud of their heritage and they traditions are strong. So you saw people in all the colors, every store. I'm talking down to the hair store. When I went to get me like a headband, the hair store, everybody had more.
Wow. I've never been. I've been down in Texas.
This is my first.
And I've
You've
never been.
never been to New Orleans?
I've been to New Orleans, yes, many times.
Oh, but never to Mardi Gras. Yeah, I've never been to Mardi Gras. I've been to New Orleans plenty of times.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I don't know. I'm not
gonna watch the parade. I like a good parade.
Was it really crowded?
I was crowded. You have to go downtown at least 5 to 6 hours ahead of the parade start time to get a spot.
I may never see it. I may never go.
It's not bad. It's not bad. They actually knew some people that lived like around the corner from the parade. So we still had our lawn chairs and everything, but we were standing up. It wasn't bad.
Was it warm? It was cool.
Yes.
Nice.
That day it was hot.
Oh wow.
The next day it was cooler, but it was hot that day, and it's cooled off a little bit for the evening, but it was perfect.
Okay, and I saw the pictures that you sent to us, and there was a lot of people dressed in like chicken.
Everything. Chicken. We stopped one of the guys. The guy where you said, why is everybody dressed like a chicken? Everybody was in yellow. He said that they do a theme every year. This year it was bees and butterflies.
Okay.
And
those weren't
yellow.
Oh, okay.
And he actually had a bee's nest. His uniform, he had taken off his helmet, but he had a beehive for his helmet. And he had bees all over, little crochet bees. It was cute. So that's what y'all saw. So I didn't know what it was. I was just excited to see people, dressed up. And he was like, yeah, we do this every year. And I was like,
So it's like a costume parade.
They were going to the parade themselves. They weren't part of the parade. The parade was like 2 more blocks down the street. That was like even
up for it.
About 3 or 4 hours before the parade, actually.
Well, I'm glad you got to experience that.
Me too.
And I lived vicariously through you this past weekend.
Don't say that. Y'all have some stuff down there in Texas, don't you?
Yeah, they have a
They do.
Galveston, but it's nothing compared to New Orleans.
I couldn't imagine it being anything like actual New Orleans. So
No, it's fun. I've been to that one, but it's just they pass by, throw out beads. Same with New Orleans, same concept, but it's not even a fraction of the people.
I have a bag full of stuff that I caught. I'm gonna show y'all one day.
A bag full of beads.
Beads, necklaces. They threw some of everything.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
The kids love stuff like that.
Oh,
So let's get into it. So, for those out in radio world, this is Mrs. Jack, and she comes and she has a show on TikTok where she comes and she uh, helps the community. She helps folks walk and talk and get through things. So, Mrs. Jack, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to the radio world.
hello, Radio World. I am Mrs. Jack, owner of Sparkle Kicks LLC, all things blingy. And I do what she was talking about. My show is called Talk It Out on TikTok. And what I do is offer people someone to talk to. And we talk about life. We talk about grief. We talk about mental health. We talk about relationships, sobriety, people's journey to being clean and sober, and just whatever is bothering someone, they need to get something off their chest. They come see me and we talk it out. Both of these lovely ladies have talked it out.
Absolutely. That's how we met.
Mm-hmm.
We met Mrs. Jack. Basically, she came into my life when I needed her most, when I lost my mom, and she helped me get through that. She really did. And because of that, I'm forever grateful because she helped me when I couldn't see. I couldn't see. I couldn't see. But I can see now. And I have, we all still have our moments. I'm no different from
Of course.
But Mrs. Jack is here tonight to help us check on protecting our peace.
Life be
Protecting
life.
our peace.
Protect your peace and improve your life. So it's usually 4 tips. Whenever I come on, I'm going to have 4 tips on how to protect your peace. Today is protect your peace and improve your life. Just things that you can do because everything is so hectic. The world is just, we can't even describe it right now. If we had to pick a word, I would use chaotic to describe what's going on. As the most peaceful word I could choose would be chaotic. So, when you have to de-stress and protect yourself and try to calm yourself down, that's on you. You have to learn how to do that on your own. And especially like if you're a parent, you can't take stress from life and bring it home. If you're a spouse, you can't bring that stress home. You got to learn how to, shrug it off, shake it off. Okay. So I got some tips. All right. So the first tip, stop explaining yourself to people. You don't owe anybody anything, any explanation on your life and what you do. Sometimes we get so used to giving reasons why we say we don't want to go somewhere. If it seems like a dangerous situation or it just seems like a hectic, chaotic situation and someone invites you somewhere you just don't want to go, you don't really have to explain it. But I think people get so caught up in, I don't want them to be upset with me if I don't go. I don't want da-da-da-da. But at the same time, you don't want to go. You're not going to be happy when you go because you don't want to be there. So sometimes we have to learn to say respectfully, I decline. I don't want to go. And if they start asking for explanations, I don't really want to explain it. I don't know why people feel like you need like an explanation. If I say no, I think that should be enough. And you have to tell people these things so that they stop asking. Have a separate conversation and say, sometimes I don't want to go. You keep asking me why. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I just don't want to go, So stop explaining yourself to people because you don't owe anybody an explanation. That way you can protect you. That's another way to protect your peace, your internal peace. And then it teaches people to start at least not questioning you. They may question everybody else, but you put your foot down and say, look, no explanation needed. Remember your mom used to say, because I said so. That's why.
Yeah.
It's like, why we got it? Because I said so. That was the same way to say, hey, stop questioning me and asking me about my personal business.
And I always say no is a complete sentence.
It is. No.
That's what I'd like to get on a shirt, Mrs. Jack.
I'm going to put that on a shirt.
No, it's a complete sentence.
I have made a few.
Thank you. Mrs. Morningstar did drop the link in the chat for YouTube. If anyone wants to join us, you are more than welcome to click on the link and we'll bring you on up and you can join this conversation this evening. Okay, so you said stop explaining. I agree with that 1,000%.
Be a grown up, stop explaining yourself. Okay, number 2, and this is hard for a lot of people. Learn to say no. Stop people pleasing. Set boundaries. Ms. Morningstar, you was talking about setting boundaries earlier when you did your quote this morning. And when you're a people pleaser, people really don't understand your way of life. Some people's whole life revolves around helping others. They feel bad when they cannot help others. So what that makes us do, or we tend to do, is put ourselves on the back burner. Because we spend our time trying to do something for somebody else. And then if you are the designated people pleaser, then everybody's coming to you. When do you have time to do what you need to do and to make sure you are pleasing yourself when you're trying to please everybody else and you have 10 things on your plate and none of them are yours?
And it's a hard task. I mean, when you're, like you said, when you're a people pleaser, you want to be able to help people. You want, to make people, you want to make other people feel good, And when you have to say no, I don't know about y'all, but for me, no tears me up. Like, I don't like,
and
it depends on who it is.
Saying it or somebody telling you no back?
Well, me telling someone no, like no, because you want to help me personally. I want to be able to be there for everybody, but sometimes it's just not a good time or it's just impossible to do. And I feel bad about it, depending on who the person is. Let's be clear.
So, so this is one thing you can't do, is attach guilt to it, right? You feel bad for not being able to do something for somebody else instead of saying, if I could, I would. I can't.
Right.
And just leave it at that, because they know your history. They know usually 9 times out of 10, you're going to help them if you can. But that one time you can't, you shouldn't feel bad about that time. Just say, this is the boundary that I'm going to set. Like, I did all these other things for you. Right now I have to do for myself. And put that time for you to not feel bad about it. So that's what you got to work on. Not feeling bad about the 10th thing that you couldn't do for one person out of the 9 things that you did do.
So let me ask you this, Ms. Jack. So in those situations where you're creating those boundaries with even the people you love the most, and they make you feel guilty, or they push back. Well, why?
You know how to stop
that? How do you balance that?
Tell them, you are making me feel guilty about something that I don't have to do for you. Everything I've done for you is voluntarily. Okay? Now, if you're going to continue to try to make me feel bad about it, then we can just cut it right here and don't ask me to do anything else for you. I love you. I've helped you when I could, but when I cannot, what you can't do is make me feel bad about not doing it. Everything revolves around communication. A lot of times we don't want to hurt people's feelings, so we don't say things. But when we don't say things, they don't hear things, so they don't know it. So when you put it out there and tell them, hey, you making me feel bad for something I don't even have to do, then it makes them, step back a little bit and be like, you know what? Okay, you're right. I'm sorry, because you have helped me 9 times out of 10 when nobody else would. So I apologize for that. So that's how that stand on business works with it. But I know it hurts because you're a caring person, you're a giver. So when somebody can't have something, you don't want to be the reason why somebody doesn't get to do something or can't get somewhere. Imagine you can't take someone to an appointment because you have an appointment yourself, or you have to go to work and you feel like, dang, they can't even get to their appointment because I couldn't take them. That means you're putting the ownership on yourself. And you shouldn't do that. These are grown-ups.
I agree. Powerful Black woman said, I got a habit of giving outside of my nonprofit. And we do. And I think that people get accustomed to receiving, and then their expectations they start expecting that
Exactly.
from you. So I too was like Miss Morningstar, always giving and giving and giving. And then I just had to take a step back because, you know, after a while of giving, it really does affect you.
Hmm.
And it can affect you health wise. It can affect you financially. It can
Hmm.
affect you mentally, where you feel that you lose value within yourself because you're
Yeah.
not giving other people what they want.
Or
And,
that they
and
only see you as somebody that they can get something from. You lose value like that as well. You have to be careful to not fall into um, the part of, oh my goodness, I can't for somebody else, and then you have nobody left to do for you. Imagine you do
Right.
everything for everybody else and put everybody else first, and then when you finally need something, none of those people are there for you.
exactly.
How bad will you feel?
Right. And unfortunately, I've seen that, and it has happened, and I've seen it in,
Yeah,
within my personal life with friends and family, and then different people who have, and I'm not speaking on my own experience, but who, have always been there for the people. And then when it's their time, when they need you to
Mhm.
support them, then that
You're
there's
not around.
nowhere
they're
to be found.
ghosts. They're nowhere to be found, right?
It happens the most with money for some
Yeah.
reason. The people that borrow money all the time. And I used to tell my friend the quickest way to get people to stop asking you for money is to ask them first because they'll
Ask them
never have it.
first.
So if y'all out there listening, you want a tip on how to make people stop asking you for money, wait till they get paid and go and ask them for some money just to test something, you know, kind of to be funny, but seriously, test to see how willing they are to give you money, especially if they're the ones that's always coming to you for money. That'll make them stop real quick because they're going to start thinking and questioning, like, wait a minute now. I always go to them. Why she don't have no money now? Like.
What she hit me up for?
Or better yet, when they call you, say, "Oh, girl, I was hoping you would call. Hey, can I borrow $200?
Yep.
Make it a high number.
Make it a big, I was going to say, make it a big number
Make
too.
it a
Make
big
them
number.
second guessing, like, wait a minute.
Can I
I
borrow?
never asked you for 200, but that's what I need.
That's
I'm
what I
working on
need."
200. So whatever you can give toward
Right.
it's
And that
real.
problem solved.
Yes. That's a quick way
I
And
see.
to
I
quit.
believe that.
So
yeah,
you're not left with feeling, because we
Hmm.
keep these feelings and these emotions inside of ourselves, these hurt feelings. Like Ms. Morningstar was saying, she feels bad when she cannot do for people. I used to until
I
I
used to.
realized that everybody was coming to me because I did for everybody. But the moments I needed people, they didn't do for me. So it actually helped me narrow down the list of people I could depend on, the people that were actually there for me and in my corner, and the people that were only there, what they say, for a good time, not a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of people. When you
Yeah.
start making your circle tighter, is going to be the people that you can depend on and the people that will call you just when they want to talk. They don't need anything from you but a conversation.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Good tips.
Okay?
Good tips.
So number 3 is to stay home sometimes where your peace is. But make sure home is peaceful. And that is loaded. Okay? So a lot of times we want to be here and go here and do this and do that. Home is the most peaceful place. Sometimes it's the safest place. I won't say it's the absolute safest place, but it's safer than being out, where the chaos is. Because things can happen at home. But sometimes you just need to stay home. You don't have to be the life of the party. You don't have to
Yeah.
make it to every party. You don't have to go to everybody's house and just be out and about all the time. Your body ain't gonna calm down. You're gonna constantly be thinking like, oh my God, I gotta do this, I have to go here. You don't have to go anywhere. Stay home. But again, make sure home is peaceful now.
I feel like that comes too as you get a little older. Because I feel
Mhm.
like now that I got a little older, I love being home.
Oh, yeah.
I love being in my bed.
Home
My
is,
bed
is
is my best friend.
comfort. I love my couch.
Yeah.
The recliner.
Yeah.
I know the
Yes.
kids are at home, so when I say home needs to be peaceful, it's not about quiet because it ain't gonna be quiet. Especially if you got the house, the husband or the wife, the kids, the dog, the cat, the animals, activity. That's
Right.
normal, everyday sounds that you're gonna hear. Peaceful means peaceful with your relationships. Peaceful.
Yes.
You're not fighting in the streets and
No
coming.
one's angry.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to have a relationship topic one day, mental health for relationships, probably be next week, but make sure home is peaceful and learn to be at peace at home instead of feeling the urge. You've seen stories of stories on the news where somebody just was out partying with somebody else and they got injured.
Yeah.
They didn't have to go.
Then
It's
Yeah.
always the innocent ones too. So
absolutely.
Always.
And there's
You're just
nothing
trying
wrong
to
with
have a
being
good
at
time.
home. There's nothing wrong with being at home. I love being at home. I wish I were at home all the time. But, we all have other things to do, and it's okay. But when I am home, I'm home. Don't
Right.
ask me to go back out.
Don't ask me to
Then-
put my shoes back on my feet.
Please don't. Don't
I'm
ask me to
not.
put on
when
any
I'm
clothes.
home
I'm
and
home.
I'm in my comfort,
In my soft clothes, my fluffy clothes.
Once that moo comes on, it's a
yeah,
wrap.
the moo honey.
Exactly.
I got some cute ones too. I got some new cute ones, y'all.
Once the moo comes on, it is a wrap for your girl.
It's a wrap. So,
all right, we're gonna take a quick break. Hold on to your thoughts. We're gonna take a quick break because we got to get these commercials in. People got to know what's going on.
Hi, I'm Tori G, owner and founder of Say Something Tees, a statement t-shirt company. I got into this business by mistake, but the mission was no accident. As a Black female-owned brand, we do more than just sell shirts. We make statements. Our designs spark conversation, sometimes shady, sometimes in your face, but always bold. From the 92% collection, honoring Black women who always show up, to Dear Black Woman, a love letter to our strength and resilience. Our tees empower, uplift, and keep it real. Because at Say Something Tees, we believe your shirt should speak before you do. Shop Black owned, shop with a purpose. Find us at www.saysomething.biz and let's say something together.
Hello, fellow taxpayers. I'm Andre Martinez, and as the founding owner of EA Tax Pros, I can honestly tell you that our clients trust our team of highly skilled and experienced accountants. Why? Because we work with a passion to keep your money in your pockets, and we keep filing taxes simple, regardless of any situation. And let's be honest, taxes are not everyone's favorite. That's why, as a multi service accounting firm, our professional accountants have a deep understanding in all areas of accounting, and as well as tax planning, preparation, and resolving your tax issues. We lead the way of effectively utilizing the tax regulations and IRS codes to help our clients clearly identify the path of their personal, nonprofit, and business goals. So, if you don't know how to start your business or your nonprofit, we welcome you to the EA Tax Pros team, and you will have access to our enrolled agents who have earned the highest certification of the IRS, as well as CPAs, certified acceptance agents, and QuickBooks certified pro advisors. So give us a call, 713 496 0262. Or you can visit us at ea-taxpros.com. So come join the team that taxpayers trust. Also, don't forget to check out ourplugs.com, a community built with culture.
And we are back. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Welcome back, everyone. So what is number... Were we done with number 3? Stay at home? I think
We
we
were
were.
on 3.
Yeah,
Yes, we
3
were on
was
3.
stay home sometimes, make sure home is peaceful.
Okay.
Yes, please make it peaceful. All
Y'all
right.
know y'all home's peaceful.
Okay, go ahead to number 4.
Okay, last one, people. All right. This is for the young people. If it's any of y'all listening, please get your advice from your elders and not your friends. I don't understand why. I know that you're more comfortable with your friends, right? And you always want to bounce your ideas and your life happenings off of your friends and get their advice, but that's not who you get it from. Y'all are in the same boat. Y'all are the same age. Get it from your elders. Talk to your elders about finances, what they learned that they were not taught when they were young, what they found out later in life that can help you, because you're the later in life part. They know what they should have learned before, and you're in the now. So stop going to your friends and asking them for advice, even financial, relationship, how to clean house, how to date, all the things that you need to do to improve your life and learn how to be a grown-up. Because right now I don't think they are teaching the children. I don't call them kids. I'll call them young adults.
Young adults.
Young adults. They're not learning the life skills that they should be learning. And that messes with the parents' piece. You as a parent have to actually prepare your child to be an adult, to get out of your house. If not, you're going to have them live with you forever. They ain't going to know how to pay bills. They won't know how to balance. I ain't even going to say balance a checkbook. They can't write checks. They won't learn how to balance a budget and function without your input. You've seen the videos of the kids that go to the doctor and have to call mom. What's my social security number? Mom, what am I allergic to? What do I tell this doctor? You should have went with him. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get your advice and learn from your elders. Ask the questions that you need. It don't have to be in front of everybody, because some people get embarrassed. But ask your elders. I don't understand.
Well, I think that some of these young adults need to find someone that they trust, that they can ask. That may be, sometimes it's tricky. I agree with you 1,000%. Especially these young women and men who are, at that age where they're a little lost, trying to find their way in life. We've all been here. That's what they need to understand. We've all been in the same shoes that you've been in, but they have to find someone that they can actually trust, that they can reach out to and have that conversation with. And that might be hard for some based on their environment, but I would encourage, if you are out there listening and you need someone to talk to, go ahead and reach out to us. We can connect you, especially if we've got, our mentors in place. We can connect you with someone that can help you navigate through. I think a lot of us fell into that thought process that as soon as my child turns 18, they got to get out. That's the worst thing that you can do.
Especially unprepared.
Unprepared.
You have about 5% of teenagers who are fully ready and have the mindset to be out on their own at 18. My grandma put my mom out of the house with me and my brother. I think she was 19 or 20. Told us, go ahead now. You had 2 kids, go and move out on your own. There was no question. There was no teaching of how to do it. It was get out and go and make your way. And that's the worst thing you can do without preparing your kids. Like you said, that's true.
I mean, how are they supposed to navigate? How are they supposed to know?
It's like the baby birds. The parents kick the bird out the nest, and they're supposed to fly or hit the ground. You're gonna prepare them to hit the ground,
And
and
then
you
a
have
lot.
to do it.
Go
I
ahead,
feel
Miss.
like at the age of 18, a lot of the times, and I would say, I mean, we all were 18 before, and no, my parents didn't put me out, but some 18-year-olds feel, well, I'm 18 now, I'm
I'm
gonna move
grown.
out, I'm grown, and I'm gonna do
Okay.
this and do that, and some do move out, you know,
Mhm.
but I was one of those 18-year-olds moved out, but quickly came back home because I had a home to go back to eventually, you know, with
Exactly.
my parents, because I still needed a little more help and nurturing from
Mhm.
my mom and my dad, and learning to
And they were
learn, because it
welcoming.
was not as easy as
Looked
as at an 18-year-old
as we
mind
pictured
pictures
it.
it to be, right?
Right.
And that's why I tell kids nowadays, stay home as long as you can. Now, especially the times we living in now, you need to be able to stay home as long as you can if you're in college or whatnot, because it's too expensive for kids to try to adapt to this world and live in a safe environment. You paying $2,500 a month for rent. You can't afford that. And
They
you're a
don't even
college
make
student.
$2,500.
No, you're a college student. You probably work a part-time job. You barely you'll be coming home trying to eat. I mean, you really would be living home still and trying to pay rent somewhere else just because you
Right.
want to be solidified as being an adult. You know, I
Wasting money.
think parents. I have a child to be 18 soon, and like I told her, you're 18. You always have a home here. You
Yeah.
know, regardless, you
Right.
know, of what your choice, you'll have a home.
Yeah.
But
But you're also preparing
we're
her.
parents, we have to learn to respect too that
Right.
kids are growing up and be able to have those conversations to balance them going into adulthood, not treat them like babies and children, even when they
Yes.
start, you know, getting to adult age. We gotta, cause
You just
you know how our mamas may, or I'm just say mine say,
exactly.
you ain't grown yet, you ain't, you know. We gotta do a little
Parents
different.
got to learn how to talk to
Yeah,
these
it's the
teenagers.
times. It's
I
the
see
time.
them like
It is.
15,
It
I think
changed.
14, 15 now is way more mature than when we were 14 and
Yeah.
15.
Yes.
You really have to start talking to these
Technology.
children as if they are adults. Start
Yeah.
teaching them things, but you have to respect them. Like you said, the respect needs to start and end at home before they go out into the world. You teach them not to let nobody disrespect you, but you got to respect mom, and I will respect you, and we can have a general conversation. Once you my child, and I told you to do this, don't back talk me,
Yeah.
don't question me. They may be asking you about life. You know, you cut it off when you're like a dictator with your kids. So
Yeah.
make sure you guys are having like full conversations with your children, teenagers. Yeah, teenagers on up, so they'll know what's going on in life.
They have to, because if they don't talk to you, then they're gonna turn to talking to their friends, and
Yep.
that's like the blind leading
Yep.
the blind. You know, their friends have no clue either. But what's even scarier is if they decide to reach out to someone who doesn't have their best interest at heart.
Or
Yes.
you
That's
put
That's
how
them
the
out,
terrifying thing,
right.
right?
You put them
that
out
is
at 18 and they have to fend for themselves and wind up on somebody's couch of somebody that doesn't have their best interest at heart. It's hard to just kick your child out without knowing that they have somewhere to go. And then they're
yeah.
stranded.
Or
Yeah.
they have to figure it out, and that may mean by any means necessary, and you don't want that for your child. And
No.
unfortunately, there are a lot of children, young adults, not children, young adults, who then decide that substance abuse comes into play
Mm-hmm.
because
Stress and life.
yes, their life,
Yeah.
and they're struggling, and then they may use substance abuse to get away from the ugliness of what they've had to endure by
Mm-hmm.
being out in these streets. So I know that, look, I had two daughters. They were a year and a half apart, and they would double team me, gang up on me all the time. They would, they were real slick with it.
Mm-hmm.
But when one went away to the military, the other one, she didn't have that support system from her sister.
She didn't have her partner.
Yeah, she didn't have her partner in crime. She and I became pretty close, and she's spoiled and rotten to the core. But I look at her and I say to myself, you know, I understand how hard it is being a single parent because she has a son. I want her to leave home, but then I don't, you know, because I know I need to let her go and be a grown up and be an adult. I know this, but times are hard.
Yeah.
You know, but let's just be honest with each other. We live in Houston, Texas. It's expensive to live.
But is she prepared to live alone?
She's lived alone.
Prepared. Okay.
She came home to help me with my mother.
Okay.
And I'm thankful. Oh my God, I'm so thankful that she did. But you know, she's about to move out, and I'm okay with it. But then again, I'm sad.
I'm sure.
I am, but I'm okay with it. But I'm sad. I'm gonna go
back. But you're gonna be there for advice. You're gonna be there a phone call away. You probably gonna visit. How far is she moving?
She's gonna move down the street from my job, so I'm gonna be over there all the time.
Okay, so I mean, we're not going to another state. We're going across.
Yeah, not too far.
Girl, and she was trying to leave the state. Anywho, keep going. Go ahead.
Okay, so you have prepared her to be out in the world. And that's what I think we're trying to say. You know, we got to prepare the kids to go out, but we also know that, you know, times are hard. So we may have to keep them at home a little longer. And I've seen people on the internet, social media saying that, you know, I'm not putting my child out into this cold, cruel world because I know they won't be able to afford XYZ and a car and all these insurances and all these things. So I'm going to let them stay with me until they have saved some money. I'll have them pay like portions of the bills to teach them that, but let them save up. So when they do finally move out, it's not going to be a burden on taking all of their savings or anything like that. So I think that's really a good plan for a lot of parents, but just make sure you guys are like teaching them and not just kicking them out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We can't repeat the cycle of the get out on your own, because back then it was cheaper to get out on your own. They still weren't paying like $20 and $30 an hour, but more affordable.
It was a lot more affordable.
Yes.
And I can remember back when I was 18, it was a lot more affordable. But it was still expensive. But
we didn't have care.
We right. But I still needed my parents. So hence I came back home and I was welcome back home. And I was able to get myself together. And then at 20, I decided 2021, I said, okay, I'm ready for my apartment. And they helped me. They furnished, you know, gave me things, you know, helped me furnish my apartment. And, you know, it was, and I never moved back. I was on my own for the remainder of my adult life. So there is a way, you know, when you're ready, but a lot of people who just put their children out, I don't understand that. I have no understanding of that.
I can't understand the LGBTQ plus LGBTQ IA plus IA community. There's a big struggle with them because that's what a lot of their parents, when they don't agree with their lifestyle, a lot of them get put out and they wind up in the streets. That's what's a portion of the homeless community is that community. And it's like, they are still your children. You can't just put them out in the streets and disown them. They're still your child. So I will never understand that either.
Me either.
Never. I would never get that.
You know, and somebody else.
You know, your child, that's still, no matter what they choose to do with their lives, their personal lives, if they're functioning adults and they're okay and they're not harming anyone, who they choose to love is not your business.
Right.
It really isn't. You just have them. You don't own them. You know, this thought that you own your children. Stop it. You know? And why would you waste time? That's the one thing, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much you have in life, you will never have enough time.
Right. And then you can't go back.
No,
We've
you
seen
can't.
plenty of people that, oh, I wish I would have had a better relationship with my child, but you put them out. Oh, they don't come and speak to me. They don't call and check on me because you put them out. They don't invite me to functions. You put them out and told them to fend for themselves like you didn't agree with their
How
lives.
do you sleep at night? It's
How
like,
do you not worry? Exactly. How do you go to
how do you
bed?
not worry?
Like the
My
first
mom
night
to
you
this
put your
day,
child out, how do you go to sleep
yeah.
and be comfortable?
Okay.
Knowing you're your baby. That's your baby. I'm my
My
daddy's
mother,
baby and I'm
listen
50.
here, my mother to this day, and I'm all the way in Texas, which she hated when I moved. She was like,
I'm
why
sure
would
she
you do
did.
that? She was like, you have lost your mind. And
Why
I
so
had to hear about
far?
it, especially when I took her grandbaby and we moved here. So she was not happy. But to this day, if I go more than 2 days without calling, she's like
Mhm.
texting me and calling me like, why haven't you called your mother?
Right.
What is going on? It's just a forever
Mind blowing.
thing.
It's
It's
mind
a
blowing.
forever thing. And here I am, 45. My mom still don't care. I'm still her baby. She has
And
two older
imagine your
sons.
daughter being out in the
It
streets
don't
and you don't
matter
know where she is, if she's eating, if
if
he or
she
she, like,
exactly.
I'll never understand. I don't have kids, but doggone it, that's not something that I feel like is okay.
It's not.
Any
Because
I
parent, I don't
mean,
care if y'all argue every single day. You don't disrespect me, I'm not gonna like. I don't understand it, and there's a lot of kids that
when
have to struggle and suffer because of their parents don't want to. And if you can't, that's different. If you can't afford to have another grown mouth to feed and they're not working and they're not helping you, then okay. But when you have,
and can I say this,
mhm,
Miss Shay?
yes,
It
go ahead.
is different circumstances. There are
Yes,
different
yes.
circumstances. There are
exactly.
some people that are like, absolutely not. You can't, because of the circumstances of whom the child is and what they're doing in the
I
home,
know,
and
I know.
what type of things that
Bringing
are just
danger to the house.
inappropriate or danger, or
Right.
just you just
Gotcha.
don't want to do nothing with yourself. You just want to not be lazy. You don't want anything. You want people to
Mm-hmm.
take care of you. And of course, it's not our
No
obligation
question
to
around
take care of you forever now.
right.
Okay.
Because some people are building bums. That's another thing, parents. You cannot build bums. And what I mean by building a bum is not making your child who has turned 18, graduated high school, hasn't left home, but they just get to lay around and
Oh
really not
no.
learn how to experience. And you don't make them, you don't give them any restrictions. You don't tell them, hey, you have to do this, this, and this to live here for free or to help pay with bills. You got to earn your keep. You building a bum. That's what you're doing.
Well,
And you're going to regret building a bum because they're going to always have to stay with you. Teach them
Create
how to pay.
boundaries.
so my boundaries, and I would say it in a heartbeat, you you have to give your young adult choices,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've graduated from high school. Are you going to college? Are you
Mm-hmm.
going to trade school? Are you going to the military? Because sitting on my couch
And a job
and
brings
doing
no
nothing
money in here.
is not it. Yes, it's not. You don't have the luxury now. None of my kids had kids until they were late in their late 20s. None of them. So it's not like I had a grandchild. Oh, you got to stay at home because I don't want my grandchild in the streets with you. But look, you got a choice. You
Mm-hmm.
can. It's military, trade school, school. You're not going to just sit here and do absolutely nothing
Or a job.
or a
Or
job.
just work. Right.
Devil's idle mind is the devil's workshop. When you're idle and you're doing nothing, you allow all the crazy to enter your mind because you're not exercising your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting there, and I don't know about the rest. I do know about the majority of African American women. We educate ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's taking courses, whether it's getting certifications, whether it's getting our
Breathe.
degrees, our bachelor's, master's,
Learning
PhDs,
skills
learning.
just on our own.
We are we are we I think we thrive off of knowledge. We want we crave that knowledge because we all know that the more I know, the further I'll go.
And that we
have
are the last line of respect in the United States. We have to earn it. We have to do so much to earn our respect. It's like white tea man, white tea woman, everybody else, and then the black woman. Like, wait a minute.
Last one.
We got to do so much more. So as a young black girl or a young black child or a young black parent, a lot more steps we got. Even scammers spend time learning how to scam. So you have to learn how to do something, not just sitting on mommy couch is not going to buy you new Jordan.
That's why the preparation portion that we have to do as parents is so important to prepare our young ladies and young gentlemen for the realities of the world. You know, I don't know, and I know it's hard for them to hear from their parents. It really is. You know, I've heard my daughter tell me, "You just saying that to me because you got to, because you're my mom."
I've heard so many people tell me that.
It's true. It's true. It's hard for kids to receive it because a lot of times they feel like, and this is my opinion, I think they think, well, you my parent, you just gonna tell me this because you got to. It may not necessarily be true, you know. And when you're dealing with a real smart kid, honey.
Girl.
Yeah.
This don't add up. Now you said this.
Honey, you better be on your P's and Q's, and sometimes you may get it wrong, and they may have to tell you. But but the thing is, I think they, in the long run, keep on speaking, keep on pouring. They will receive it. It may not be at that moment, but something may click at a certain age and say, "My mother said this," or "My father said this to me," and the light bulb.
My brother does that. You told me that. Yeah. I didn't think it was true.
Yeah, but that light bulb. You
know why? Because I'm the one always giving him the advice. I'm the one telling him what to do and da-da-da-da-da. So you're the parent. You're the one that's always already telling them everything. So they just feel like it's just something else you telling them to do. That's why it's like burnout.
Preaching.
You're the one that's always preaching to me, right? So
you just don't want me to
gonna land the same way if mommy tells me. It's gonna land differently if Miss Jack tells me, and then it match up with something my mom told me. Oh, you know, my mom said that. She was right.
You ever find yourself, your kid tell you'll tell them something, you be telling them something all the time, and then maybe let's just say a couple months go past and something happened and then someone else tells them, they're like, you know what, such and such told me maybe I should do it this way. Well, didn't I tell you that 2 months ago?
They tuned you out. They tuned you out when you said it, but somebody else made it sound, ooh, that sounds like a good idea.
So that was my point. Like sometimes it's received back to the whole point when you talking about, and you were talking in the beginning about how kids receive stuff, like how they receive their information from friends and stuff, go to elderly people or people a little bit older than you. Don't have to be elder, but you know, someone older than you. It may not be
more experienced,
right? It may not be received from your parent, even though it could be the same thing. The message may be received differently from, like, something coming from me, coming from DJ Kitty to my child may be received, even though it's the same message. It's coming out of a different voice, and it's a different person who may just make them have that light bulb go off, like, oh, you know, well, and they may think in their head like, my mama did tell me that, but
I ain't gonna tell her she was right.
It came from you know, someone else, and now it makes sense.
Yes, they gonna stand on it.
What's really funny is when you watch your child talk to her child and tell your grandchild the same things that you told your child, and then you just sit back and just look like, wow.
Wait for them days. Woo.
Baby.
Knock your mind, don't it?
Yes,
like, look at these jokers having this conversation.
They're like little twins, and it's the big version and the little version of my daughter. And the funniest part is they'll go back and forth, and I just sit there and watch, because it's just like she and I, when she would talk back and I'd go back and forth. Now I'm watching it. My mama always said, watch how you talk to me, because the heck that you put on me will come back to you 3 times over. Okay?
It's like,
Yes. My daughter that is her. I tell her all the time, that's your payback. That's your payback. All that smart. Because I love my baby girl, but she's spoiled and she has a mouth. And my grandson is her baby. That is her humbling experience right there. You get what you get, and you don't have a fit.
great, probably. You know how you just watch children and be like, "Are you not tired?" Nope, Nana, Mama. And if he give her that attitude like she used to give you, she probably look at him like, "Oh, you just like me." And what can you say to your twin?
She can't say anything. She cannot say a thing to her twin. And I sit back, you know what I do? I sit back and watch. Like this, like I put on my crookling face.
Oh.
Crooklyn. I will Crooklyn her in a second.
Wonder where he got that from.
I wonder where he got that from.
Yep, and there it is. That's all you need, though. That's the karma and the lesson at the same time. Like, this your lesson. Your child teaching you the lesson, but this your karma for how you ran me in circles. There you go.
And ran me. It's crazy. That's how she did me. But I love my child. But I keep saying I love my child to remind me.
Yeah.
Baby, because them teenage years was tough. Anywho, you are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Tonight, we were talking about protecting our peace with Mrs. Jack. Mrs. Jack, thank you so much. Your words of wisdom are always the best. You know, you can't get your hearts because, you got that backdrop on. But thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for taking out the time and putting these words that we can live by together, and coming and sharing it with our community on YouTube, and our community and our radio world. For all of you out there listening, you can find Mrs. Jack on TikTok. She goes live. When is your live schedule now? Is it 12 o'clock Eastern?
Right, 12 o'clock Eastern is when it starts. It usually goes 2 to 4. It was mostly 12 to 4, not 2 to 4, 12 to 4. But lately I've been doing 12 to 2 or 12 to 3, just because we had that hiccup with TikTok and just trying to get back into the swing of things. So now everything is looking a little bit more steady. So we'll get back to 12 to 4, but be there at noon, 12 Eastern.
12 Eastern. You can find her name on TikTok is Mrs. Jack, and it's Talk It Out. That's the name of her
Sparkle
show.
Kicks. I think it's Sparkle Kicks on TikTok. It's Sparkle Kicks, but when you come into the live, it says Miss Jack for my host name. But when you search my TikTok, it's Sparkle Kicks.
Okay, and it's Monday through Friday. So she always has something knowledgeable. She keeps the audience engaged. We have a lot of fun. We talk and we enjoy each other, but it is definitely an adventure.
We have
any last words? We were about to wrap the show. Any last words?
Yes.
For us?
My last words are always remember that you don't owe anybody anything except yourself. You got to start with yourself. You know how they tell people put your mask on before you put your child's mask on? That's how you have to go through life. Start with making sure you are okay before you go out and make sure everybody else is okay.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much. This Morningstar, any last words?
Oh man, thank you, Miss Jack, for coming with all that knowledge. It always is very helpful. And yes, you guys, check out her show. We have a ball. We act up, we cut up, and we just sometimes we laugh. we joke. It's a good time. Sometimes we cry because it's a ball of emotions. So you guys make sure you come through and check it out. Thank you, Chad. I see you. I see you, Deborah. That's one of my Morningstar customers right there. I'm gonna shout you out. I see you, Debbie. Hey girl. Hey girl. And thank you, Melbo, and everybody else in the comments. Thank you. And to the radio world, we love you guys. We want you guys to come through to YouTube one time or two and check us out so we can put a face. You can put a face to the voices. And we thank you for the opportunity, WKRA.
Thank you so much, WKRA. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. We will catch you again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Thank you so much.
All
hey,
right,
y'all.
Good night.
It's DJ
Or good
Kitty
day.
And Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WK. Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty
and Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new